this is in Pila's voice. I think that the idea of treating customers fairly is a very noble one. However, I do, however, think that it seeks to solve the problem of low levels of financial literacy at the wrong level. I think that it is a mistake to seek to try and equalize it at the level of finance service providers. The mistake happens at the basic education level, and that is where, in my view, it ought to be fixed. By the time people are in a position to enter into transaction, the damage has already been done and built up over decades. I think that the I think that TCF takes the agency away from the individual and gives it to the service provider. I think that this is a big mistake. I know that the FSCA is working on measures to intervene at the basic education level. I support this wholeheartedly. I do wonder, though, why there isn't as strong as an emphasis on financial literacy at the school level as there is at the level of financial service transactions, because it seems to me to be equally important.
Yeah, so I
Over
mean,
to you,
I
sir.
think that so there's no trade-off here. The interventions at various levels around education programs to deal with issues of financial literacy and or consumer education are
Mhm.
not in the they are never going to be sufficient so that you reduce responsibilities of licensed firms around
Mm.
how they should treat their customers fairly. So there's no, I think it's a false dichotomy. So yes, we can improve interventions around consumer education at various levels, and we will, and we must. But you must still make sure that the responsibilities of financial institutions are clear and consistently applied around how they should treat their customers. I don't necessarily agree that what you have right now is that you've moved that responsibility, you've taken away agency from individuals to financial institutions. I think, like I was saying before, the the size and complexity and sophistication of the financial sector requires a higher level of responsibility and burden on what information they should provide and what responsibilities they should have legally when they sell a product, and throughout the life cycle of that product, and so on. So those responsibilities, I think, are placed at the right level, because individual customers, even relatively knowledgeable, struggle to always understand all the risks pertaining to the products that they are sold, and transparency around pricing, and just the ability to ask the right questions. Now, of course, you can continuously and must continuously empower customers to engage with financial institutions. But I think the power relations are always that financial institutions have more information than individual customers ever will. Now, of course, you need to apply these as principles. That's why it's TCF principles and outcomes, because that implicitly says that for different type of customers, there should be different approaches, and the things that you emphasize of those principles to different customers will not be the same because you are dealing with different customers. And differentiation around customers in terms of advice, whether it's suitable or not, what communication, product design, and so on, it's part of the responsibility of the financial institution anyway.